Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about American politics, and I want to talk about where we're at. So we are very close. We're less than 3 weeks out. November 5th is the day, and people are gonna go to the polls, and we're gonna get this done. And what I want to do today is I just kind of want to give a little bit of settling to everyone and just say, hey, relax, relax, relax. If you're a Republican, you can relax. You're about to win. Donald Trump is about to absolutely, virtually crush Kamala Harris. It's going to be a landslide. And if you're a Democrat, you could chill too. You should stop pushing because you ain't got a chance in heck, right? All across America, like it's the economy. I'm not going to say the word, but like it's the economy, man. Inflation through the roof, war through the roof, crime through the roof, and ain't nobody want more of that, right? And Kamala's 100% responsible for it because nobody even believes Biden was president for a single day, and nobody even pretends Biden is president now. So essentially, the Democrats have just done an abominable job. It's one of the first four-year periods in history. And I think what shocked everybody is like, wait a second, Donald Trump's a liar loser. It's going to be a layup to defeat his, what he did in America. Not the case. Biden he's cracked the world in half. Like he's cracked the world like an egg. Like it's just really bad. And I don't think the Democrats have any chance. But I want to talk today about why that is, right? And I want to talk about it because of what I learned from a movie review, from a single unlikely movie review. I think perfectly explained the terrible, terrible, terrible problem that Democrats have to solve, right? So there are many, many, many reasons that Joe Biden was a garbage president proxy. He was never really president. He was a president proxy, and he was terrible at it, right? And there are many reasons why Kamala Harris cannot be president, and I want to talk about them right now. So Kamala Harris comes in, and it's her turn, right? Like, it's her turn to run, and now we need to hear her say, hey, this is what I stand for, this is what's important to me, and so she did. She figured it out, and she's like, okay, here's my plan for the economy. If you're a small business, I got 50 grand for you. If you're a mom and a pop with a baby on the way, I got 6 grand for you. But guess what, Kamala? I'm 54 years old. I'm not a small businessman, and I ain't about to have a baby. What you got for me? Nothing. You get nothing, Scott Garibay. Nothing. Nothing. And I'm like, wait, are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. You get nothing. Well, why? Why does Scott Garibay get nothing? Right? Then you look on the Donald Trump side, and he goes, oh, I got a plan for everybody. Right? We're just going to put in the Republican playbook. Right? Lower taxes, lower regulation. Everybody balls out, sells apples on the street. We're going to keep taxes low, and we're not going to really regulate we're not going to say, hey, you can't sell apples on the street. Right? And all the businesses calm down. Inflation goes down, crime goes down, war goes down. And also he's like, oh, and that shiny military we got, I'll be all up in everybody's grill. I'll be taking war to the world. Because everybody believes Donald Trump's ready for a war anywhere, anytime. Right? Like, yeah, like he's definitely gonna put it down, right? He's actually gonna use that shiny, awesome military we have, right? So here's the thing that really got me talking, right, to myself. So great, fantastic channel. So the best movie reviewer in the world is Grace Randolph. The second best are Nick and Joseph over on Fish Shelly, and they do something completely different than Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph reviews the best movies, right? Nick and Joseph do spoiler reviews on every movie, and this isn't a joke. I think they cover literally 90% of everything that goes to the theaters. It's astonishing, and they do an incredibly good job of it. So I was listening to them, and they were giving a review of Saoirse Ronan, right? And I think the movie's called Outrun, and it's just Saoirse Ronan as a drunk, right? Like just recovering from being a drunk, right? Addicted to alcohol. Saoirse Ronan as a drunk, right? So Nick and Joseph watch this movie, and they're like, you know what? I'm having a hard time seeing what her problem is. Doesn't seem like she has a real problem, right? And they said it in different words, but I'll tell you the words that I really remembered, right? So I think Nick was going in and he's like, listen, you look like Saoirse Ronan. You're beautiful, you're young, you're attractive. Right? You're beautiful, you're young, and you're thin. What problem do you have? Oh, you party too much? Stop partying. Like, duh. Like he was like, and then he said, and then he realized, oh, wait. I'm being a little flippant about this, right? And that's when it really got interesting because I was like, okay, where are you going with this, right? And so at that point, this gets really fascinating, right? So at this point, he's like, okay, I'm being a little flippant. And Nick says something. He says, oh, not to compare people's misery and trauma. And I was like, wait a second. And he was saying it because he's like, it's inappropriate to measure people's misery and trauma. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly the world that Kamala is bringing. So Donald Trump, it's wild because he seems super prejudiced, right? But his approach to government is, I'm just going to build a tax-free, unregulated market, and you can do whatever you want in it. And I don't care what color your skin is. Whereas Kamala's like, well, we're not going to do anything for the market. We're going to keep taxes high. We're going to keep regulation high. Nothing is going to change except one thing. There's a new line to compare misery and trauma. So wait, who has misery and who has trauma? Well, white people don't. So if you are a male Caucasian or a female Caucasian, nothing for you. You're not even in the line, right? If you're a person of color, you have misery and trauma. You're in the line. But wait, you're a male black man, right? You're a black male, right? That's nice. Can you throw some LGBTQ in? Right? They have more misery and trauma. Now you're higher in the line. Well, wait a second. Okay, you're a black male, and you have the Q. So you're a black male Q. It's a lot of misery and trauma. But this guy over here, he's got ADA on top of that, right? He's got like a disability, right? That's even more misery and trauma. And so I think that's the issue is people don't want to go into the Kamala era because the only way to get picked for something or to get a break or to be prioritized or to be considered an important American is you have to go very, very far down the misery and trauma. And in the Democrat world, I think people are saying, oh, you do have a structure for measuring misery and trauma. And you prioritize people by who has the most misery and trauma, right? And I think, and that's really fascinating because on the one hand, I actually think we should really consider what reparations should be, right? I think that should, actually, I think we should give reparations, all right? What should reparations be? New York, California, Washington State, and Georgia. Those 4 states should be given to every black person in America, and everyone who is not black should have to move out of those states. Give them the entire states, everything in it, every building, every business, everything, right? So I actually am for fixing problems that we created in the past, right? But I also am frustrated that I'm not anywhere on that list. Now, why am I nowhere on that list? Mattapani. I'm Mattapani, right? I'm Native American. We ain't even on the list. Have you heard anybody talking about Native Americans in this election? We get nothing. We get nothing, right? And so this is the issue, is the moment you go down this road and you're like, well, let's start calculating your misery and trauma. Where do you fall in the hierarchy line? Let's compare people's misery and trauma. And the problem is, if you ain't got a lot of those boxes checked, you get nothing. And I don't know. And here's the point. I actually don't think it's a bad thing to measure people's misery and trauma, but you're going to get crushed in an election if that is your plan, because that means the only people who are going to vote for you, who are excited to vote for you, are people with absolutely maximized misery and trauma, and just by math, that's like 5% of the population. So Kamala Harris is about to get destroyed virtually by Trump. It's going to be bad. It's going to be a landslide victory for Trump, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, we get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.